Hey, welcome back. Fixing things. Well, we're gonna have to do some fixing today. But I got good news and I got bad news. The bad news is this thing that's in my hand right here, right now. And if you've seen the last episode of the me-haul truck, you know what this is. And that's my epoxy. It broke off. But that's not the only bad news. But hey, let's start this video on a good high point. All my rims are mounted. I even got my old rims mounted on tires. Not only that, wait till you see this. Look. That looks good. But now we got some of that good news out of the way. When I backed the truck down here the last time, and it's still running off the old fuel in the original tank because this pickup tube, and I never finished it. But I parked it down here in this hole, away from my shop, away from my welder, away from other things. So I think what I gotta do is get this truck running, but it doesn't run no more. The me-haul truck stopped running. There's nothing wrong with the motor. Yeah, I think the fuel just stopped up from that tank. I think running it around, or I ran it out of gas, because every chance I could, man, I started this thing up to drive it. But this thing here, when I sat the tank, when I sat the tank up on top of this, after I did my video on putting this tank together, this thing popped out of there because I had it sitting on the bottom. So when it was sitting on the bottom and it bounced, it hit the bottom of the tank and popped this thing up and broke my seal. So I got a couple things I'm gonna try. One thing, I'm gonna get rid of that plastic plug that was on there that I drilled the hole through, and I got a fitting. But this steel line is not the same as copper line, so the ferrules don't work on it, the compression fitting. But I think what I can do is I can put a O-ring on it and do the same thing, because they make fittings similar to that. But I'll have to drill out so your steel lines is slightly a little bit bigger than your copper lines, because it's the inside diameter is what they're going by, not the outside diameter. When I do that, well, I'll have to drain the fuel out of it right here, what's left of that diesel fuel, because I don't want to run that through the carburetor. And I need to go ahead and clean that carburetor out. So I got to get to those fuel lines, hook up my new fuel line into here. I got to get the thing back over to the shop so I can weld my studs onto it. Oh, goodness gracious. We'll get it done. I'm not going to put the decking boards on, because I think I'm going to use the aluminum diamond plate on this. I think that'll look better. I'm going to buy me a piece of aluminum diamond plate. Oh, my fish they're looking at me to feed them. I guess I got to feed them. Man, it is beautiful outside. It's already like 70 degrees. And I can't wait to get this thing. I want to get this thing running fairly decent today. I really do, because I have been driving it from there to work on it and pulling it up in front of the shop so I can get like welders and stuff like that to it. But I think I ran out of gas. I don't know. Or it's just plugged up full of the black goo. And I don't want to deal with the black goo no more. So we need to get that tank working today and get that carburetor cleaned out and get that truck so it's parked up here and mount those studs on it, because I don't want to run a real long extension cord on my welder. So to replace that plastic fitting, I got one of these, right? And don't want it's got a little piece of plastic in it. Don't want that to get down in the tank. And then I bought this fitting right here, which has got a compression fitting, which screws into it. Then we can seal it all up. The problem is, steel fuel line is a different outside diameter. It's the same inside diameter, but it's a different outside diameter. And it doesn't fit inside the fitting. So what I gotta do is I gotta drill out this fitting so the fuel line will fit in it. And drill out this fitting so the fuel line will fit in it. Instead of using this little ferrule, because once I drill it, there'd be nothing left to it, I think I'll put a small little rubber thingamajiggy. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it's called. O-ring. You're going to get shocked. I hear your collar beeping. Go back to the house. Go back. I'll take your collar off in a little bit. Go back. Go, get. Before you get shocked. Crazy dog. So, it's almost will go in there. So that's what we need to do. Let's change the size. Get this thing where it'll slide up into the tank-ish. Put the O-ring on there, and the O-ring will bite it. It doesn't have to be solid. It just got to be sealed. So when the tank's sloshing, it's not coming out, and it'll hold it in place. As you squeeze it down, it's going to hold it tight. It's not like a water line under a house, you know. It's a fuel line on top of the tank, and the O-ring will seal it. We use O-rings all the time in automotive. Not going to be under pressure. It's going to be under vacuum. So, best thing to do now is get it done. All right, let's see if this baby fits on. Oh, yeah, look. Nice. it's on this end. I think we'll just hit that with the grinder. All right, so I just grinded the tip of the thing down. And there we go. Now it threads on and off. Now we just gotta find an O-ring that'll work. Stretch it over my El Pipo. Never even opened these things yet. You know, I always buy these things, and then they always. Why am I bending over to talk to you? I always buy these things, then they flip over somewhere and I lose them and throw them away or something. Then I buy a whole new pack. But the cost of things these days, you gotta take care of them. This is where they explode. All right. Let me see here. That looks like that'll work. All right. Before I go out there, and before I mess up everything, let's put the lid back on. I mean, they're stuck to everything. And put it away. Now we gotta put the tape all this stuff back up. All right, let's get this thing in there. I put that washer above where it should be. Let's see if we can set it down on the bottom of the tank and raise it off the bottom just a hair. First, let's get our top bung put in. I was looking all over for these, and guess where I found them? Down in here where I last used them. Now let's see where it hits the all right, it's hitting the bottom there. Let's set that rubber thing. So it's not hitting just off the bottom. Dude, that is solid. I want to thank my listener. I can't remember his name. I'll see if I can't post it up there on the screen when we're doing this. But he gave me that idea. I'll admit it's not mine. I had thought something similar to it, but it was his idea. Now, if I used a copper line, I wouldn't have to do all the drilling and stuff. But I think this is going to be good because now I can do adjustments and everything on it. And who knows, I may have to do adjustments. So now I just got to bend my line, get it over, cut my old line. I want to leave the old line existing where it's at, kind of. Yeah, I want to thank Scott Score for his idea of using the fitting like that. It was a good idea. I probably still would have had to drill the backside out because the fitting was designed to only go partial of the way down. But now when I drilled it out, I can slide the pipe all the way through. Man, it works great. Thank you, Scott. Awesome idea. All right, last time I used this Milwaukee, I was not impressed. It died and it was clicking, and I don't know if maybe it's some kind of heat thing in it. But I'm gonna try it again because I don't feel like dragging the cord out here. After this, we're gonna bend the fuel line, get it up in there, hook a new filter to it, hook it down here on the one side of the original thingy, pull that off, so that's gonna disable this other tank, and hook it up. Drain the tank, put some gas in it, and clean the carburetor out some. So that's what we're gonna do. I do like this thing. That clicks pretty cool. All right, let's put my safety goggles on. And put my scratched up glasses here. These are not my new glasses, honey. These are my old glasses. So I want to come down so where I can bend it slightly and hook into the old fuel line. So I ain't got to cut a longer hose. So we'll come up, go over, shoot down, go up, go in the tank. All right, so what I got done now, as I got it coming out the hole over there, I got some rubber hose wrapped on it to keep it from vibration. And I'll probably put some straps around this, drill some holes when I get ready to do the deck. Same thing, I got some brake lines and stuff like that. It's also got to be done when I remove things, it's easier to get to just before I put it on the road. Goes down and hooks into the same fuel line that I hooked up originally. And eventually I'll put a dual tank switch right there. That should be a pretty good access to it somewhere right there. So we're going to be draining the tank now. I probably should have drained it before I hooked up all the lines, but all we got to do is lift up one corner. You got to have a level because you can't eyeball it when you're sitting on uneven ground. At least I can't. Maybe some of you guys got super eagle eyes like Puddin does. But Pastor Bill, he's got pretty good eyes. So according to this, she's leaning down almost a quarter inch for 4 foot, according to this scale. And we're dead even going this way. That's good. So it means we got to lift this tank up here a little bit, and if we do it a little bit on this side, quarter inch per foot, and that'll also shove our fuel down to that side. I got a wooden, here I got a brick. It's a brick house. Guess I should have brought some pry barge. I don't want to scoot it because my fuel lines are in. Let me go get a pry bar. All right, got me the Wonder Bar. You know why? It's a wonder it even works. It's like mystery oil. It's a mystery what they got in it. All right, takes an Allen key thingamajig on it. Guess I better get this ready. Go get a rag. It's going everywhere. It's almost like linseed oil. Oops. It's clean. It's clean. It kind of looks like vegetable oil. Get some tape for that little bung right there. Six US gallons. Next one. So we at 1 gallon, we had only a ½ inch in the tank. So we pulled a ½ gallon out of it. So at 6 gallons, be 3 inches of fuel in the tank. So let's go ahead and put some more in there. All right, back up in the motor again.
Oh, yeah, got some nastiness in it. All right, let's take a look at this thing. Just from the bolts alone, the ones that were on the bottom are pretty nasty. And also inside the metering block, it's got quite a bit of nastiness too. Remember, this was a brand new carburetor. Let's see if we can get that off without turning the gas. Oh my goodness. That's just simply nasty. No wonder the power valve wasn't working. And the trash was above the thingies. All right, let me go clean this thing up. All right, I got the filter swapped out. Getting ready to prime the carburetor. I got the ignition switch on. Clear prop. Yeah, make sure there ain't nothing in front of that thing. Come on, baby. Turning off the fuel in the tank. Come on, baby. Carburetor, carburetor, carburetor. Lord, in Jesus' name I pray. Bring this carburetor back to life. Make sure there ain't no vacuum leaks behind it here or something. A lot of gas back there. Warm up. It's almost like it's sucking air out of this filter right here. I see bubbles, 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 boils and troubles. Probably needs to be choked a little bit too. Bet you that fuel filter that's bottom of that fuel pump. Got some trash in it. Let's see if I can't get that thing off. It is idling. All right, let's see if it'll go for a ride. It stopped and would not run again last time it was parked here because of the bad fuel or it was out of gas. But you've seen that carburetor. It had 3/8 of an inch of trash in the bottom of it because it just blew out the bottom of the filters. So now we got a new fuel tank, new fuel filters, clean the carburetor back out, and we got it running. So, and I cleaned out the air filter and put fresh oil in that. And this ride. Before, all it would do was pop and bang and spit and stuff like that. So, let's see, just quiet. Oh yeah. Was running good.
Slammed on the brakes, shut off the gas, and carburetor floated. I don't know, sounds good.
Sounds a lot better. Yeah. Better and better all the time. All right, baby, start for me. It knew exactly where to stop. All right, that's going to be it for this episode of Fixing Things with Pastor Bill. Also fixing things with Roger, because Roger helped me out. The Mehall truck broke down in front of Roger's sea can out there. The fuel pump still has a bunch of trash in that filter. There's a filter on the bottom of the fuel pump. And we took the lines off it and blew some air into it and got some of the trash out of it. And then it started rolling, almost ran over Roger. And I rolled it all the way back up here, primed it, and all of a sudden the fuel started pumping again. But I'm gonna go ahead and order the new filter and the little wrench that takes that thing off, because I ain't got no oil filter wrench that's that small. But it's running. The carburetor is running good. The new fuel tank's working great. Man, I got it up to third gear. It still had power. That's what I'm talking about. So next week I'm gonna put the rear tires on the back. I got all those. It's getting late now. And gonna grease this thing, Easter. So Easter it gets grease the whole thing. And maybe I'll order the fuel pump stuff, get that done. And I gotta re-bleed the rear brakes, because the rear brakes you gotta pump them to get any brake out of them. So, but other than that, man, it's running good. It's running good. I mean, it stops, but it's running good. But it's air in line, because when you pump them up, they got brake. So we'll re-bleed the brake lines. I mean, it's a 1/4 inch line, 20 something feet all the way to the back. That's a lot of brake line. New fuel tank is working great. Great. I temporarily put some screws in there to hold it, but I'm gonna weld me some studs on there so I can bolt it down. But I didn't want to do that until I get the aluminum diamond plate that's going to go on there. And then from there, I guess I start ordering the stuff for the bed and make the new bed for it. Find my title. Somehow I lost the title. Yeah, I got it somewhere, but I lost it. Mehall truck's looking good. Look at them front rims, man. Look at these. Awesome. It's going to be awesome when I drive it. Only bad thing is get that double Armstrong. It doesn't have Armstrong steering. It has double Armstrong steering. When you're stopped, man, that thing's a beast to roll. But hey, I don't care. It's my truck. Maybe I'll invest in power steering unit later. Oh, God bless each and every one of you. Remember, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I wish you all have a happy Easter. And, Easter is the reason for the season, Easter is the reason for salvation. Without Easter, right, there is no resurrection. There is no nothing. People say, oh, Easter's a pagan holiday. Listen, Jesus was around long before the pagans were ever around. And Easter has something to do with the solstice. And the solstice is the alignment of the planets. And guess who made the alignments of the planets? Jesus. God bless you. happy Resurrection Day when that comes next week. God bless you. Oh yeah, like and subscribe. I need it. I need it. Things are getting ready to happen, and I'm getting subscribers are starting to happen. So if you're watching this video, you like my content, this is real stuff here. This ain't make believe. You see my broken down stuff, my broken down me, my broken down everything, and I got a lot of projects coming up. A lot of projects. I got projects here. My black truck's going to be completely redone. My wife's Challenger is going to be turned into a Barracuda. I have all the stuff to do that. I was going to start on it this week, starting with the grill. My wife said, "No, you work on the me-haul truck. Get your me-haul truck up and running." Because she said, once I stop, I may not start in a while. I got the two vehicles out there, got to be done, and I got a 73 Ford Pinto that I'm going to tub out. Pro Street. Stock. Not. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put a carbon chip in it. I'm gonna put a carbon chip in my Pinto so it makes more carbon. The world needs more carbon. I mean, without carbon, you wouldn't have number 2 pencil. Without carbon, plants couldn't breathe. Without carbon, we would die. God bless each and every one of you. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.